What could be better than the Prophet 5? I don't know, 2 Prophet 5s? That's exactly what Sequential Circuits had in mind when they released the Prophet 10, and Cherry Audio just released an emulation of it. This new synthesizer is called P-10, so in this video I'm going to check it out, but I'm also comparing it with other emulations of the Prophet. So the key features of the Prophet 10 was that it was literally 2 Prophet 5s, so of course Cherry Audio included everything from the original. Now in terms of features, despite the amount of voices, this was a pretty standard subtractive synthesizer. I mean, we have 2 oscillators with different shapes, an LFO, and a filter. And the most important feature is the layer selection. Each layer could be independent from the other, giving you more opportunities for sound design. Besides, we have a poly mode where we can use the envelope of the filter or oscillator B. It can create very crazy audio grade sounds. Now to expand on the original, Cherry Audio added their staple effects. That is a distortion, a phaser, flambier chorus, delay, and a reverb with the galactic reverb. All of these can be independent from each layer, or you can set it to be global. Sometimes global is better to glue both layers together. Besides that, each layer have an arpeggiator, which is crazy because we already have the sequencer. Now, the sequencer, as you can see, is a bit different from the original. It works more similar to the one on the LK-X. And honestly, it's pretty simple to use. You just have to press rec, and then press a key, then go to the next step, or add rests, and so on and so on. The best part is that you have 4 sequences that can be played at the same time, and you know what that means. We have polymeter and even polyrhythmic action. Now with the sequencer you can control only one layer, but if you want to go to the next level of rhythmic craziness, you can use the arpeggiator on the other layer. If you appreciate that I take my time to test all of these new releases, please give a like to the video. And if you're considering to buy the P-10 or any other emulation of the Prophet or any plugin at all, consider using my affiliate links so you can support my channel even further. So in terms of features, I like it a lot. It's simple enough to go and make sounds from the get-go, but it's deep enough so you can start getting more complex things thanks to the effects and the sequencer. Not only that, I forgot to mention that the effects also have their own LFO. In terms of the sound, I like it too, but to get a better Veredict, we need to compare it with other emulations. I will compare it also to the real thing, but I don't have it. I have here with me the Model 80 by Softtube. They were really kind to give me a license to make this comparison. I also have the Prophet of the V Collection X by Arturia, and I have the Repro-5 by Yuhi, but it's only a demo, still is fully functional. If I'm missing other Prophet emulations, let me know in the comments, please. Now, before going to the sounds, let's compare some of the features. The Model 80 is the simplest one. It reminds me a little bit of the Model 77 that I reviewed on this other video, because it doesn't have extra features, or at least not as many as the others. I mean, it doesn't have effects, and it doesn't have extra features except for the pressure. Still, the Prophet is a fairly simple synthesizer, so with this now you can just load it up and get the sound. The Repro-5 by Yuhi has a mod matrix and many destination options, and not only that, you can go to the circuits of the synth and tweak everything as you want. And besides that, it has pretty nice effects, including a distortion, delay, reverb, and equalizer. Now, analog synthesizers, especially the older ones, didn't have any effects. And that's perfectly fine. So for me, this won't make them better or worse, it's just about personal preference. In my case, I like when a synthesizer has effects, but I know that other people don't mind. And then the Prophet 5 by Arturia is the one with the most extra features. And that's like their thing, I mean making an emulation but also modernizing it. So of course we have really advanced modulators like LFOs or MSECs or functions and envelopes. And we also have keyboard modulators like for the aftertouch. Of course this one is the one with most effects. And the effects that you can use are as advanced and modern as an OTT. So in terms of features and functionality, they are very, very different. But these are emulations of the Prophet 5 and Tre is emulating the Prophet 10. So with that you can create deeper and bigger or even more complex kind of sounds. But all of that is good if the sound is good. So for this video I figured I will do a blind test, and you tell me in the comments which option you like the best. To keep things fair, on the P-10 I'm using only one layer, and I'm not using effects inside the synthesizers. I just uploaded 15 presets for the P-10 to my YouTube members page and also to my Patreon. For just $5 you can get all of those presets and more. So comment down below and organize the one that you like the best and the one you like the least. So for the Veredict, which one do I prefer? Well, this is a bit complicated for me to answer because sound is not everything, at least for me. I mean, it's very important, but so is workflow, extra features and even the UI. Personally, I like the sound of the P-10, and I like a lot that you can have 2 layers. Not only that, the sequencer is very fun to use. Now the UI is a little bit too big for me, and I don't quite like this focus feature, but it's okay. On the other hand, the one by Softtube is the simplest one, you don't get distracted by anything. But as I said, I prefer when synthesizers have effects inside them. Sadly for the Repro-5, as I don't have a license, I haven't been playing with it that much, but still it has a very unique sound and the deeper features are very nice. And the one by Arturia is great, as the CS80V or the Mini V4 are great. I mean, with the modulators and the deep effects, you can get sounds that are not even analog or vintage anymore. So on the top for me, it will be the P-10 and the Prophet 5 by Arturia. Maybe the P-10 is a little bit higher, but it's very close. So I'm looking forward to read your answers for the blind test. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye!